Well, hello and welcome. Thanks everybody for joining us here tonight in Beyond Slim Together. We'll be getting started just here in 1 minute. If you've got some friends that are a part of this group, you want to let them know to join us tonight. We're going to be hearing from our very own Dr. Mark Drucker talking about how to build a fitter, healthier immune system this holiday season. We're going to be talking about some of the key ingredients in ZipSlim and the role they play in supporting healthy immune function. So if you do have a few friends that are in this group, you want to throw out those last few text messages, last few invites. We'll get started here in about 30 seconds. Excited to have everybody on the line tonight. Thanks for joining us. And we'll get started here in just a few minutes. Again, this is John Lawn with Beyond Slim. I'm your Vice President of Marketing. And tonight we'll be hearing from our own Dr. Mark Drucker on how ZipSlim and the ingredients in ZipSlim help support your immune function through this holiday season. A lot of sniffles, a lot of things going around, and it's important to make sure you give your body everything it needs to thrive during this time. And we think we've got quite the formula to do just that. So without further ado, I'm excited to welcome the mind behind the product that is the reason many of you are a part of this Beyond Slim community and the Beyond Slim Together group that you're watching this in tonight. He's helped countless people through his Center for Advanced Medicine down in Southern California. And over the years, he's applied all the best learnings and all the best research and all the best testimonies and results he's helped people achieve through a combination of health and wellness practices, supplementation, and really crack the code on what it takes to overcome metabolic overload and help people perform that metabolic reboot that your system really needs to thrive. But ZipSlim is a culmination of all that research coming together to help you be fitter, healthier, and happier, but do so as simple as taking 2 delicious drinks a day, which is the real breakthrough that's helped us achieve the scale we've had and reach the size and the growth we've had so far. And we're just getting started. But one of the things you may not know, in addition to the amazing weight loss stories and health transformations you've seen, is that ZipSlim has a number of ingredients that have been proven to be a real boost for your overall immune function. And obviously that's important year round, but especially important as the temperatures start to dip and people are gathering more indoors, more things going around. We want to make sure that you give your body the best chance to fend off any possible threat to your immune system. So excited to hear more about that tonight. And without further ado, excited to throw it over to our own Dr. Mark Drucker. Dr. Drucker, take it away.
Hey, John Lawn, thank you so much for the intro. Happy to be here. I want to wish everybody happy holidays. 'Tis the season, and I hope everyone is managing stress, enjoying yourself, and remember that you are your own most valuable, you're your own most valuable person, right? So it's important for you to take care of yourself. Now, building a fitter, healthier immune system is not just a play on words, because Beyond Slim helps you get fitter, healthier, and happier using the ZipSlim product. It's not just a play on words. It is really important that you build a fitter, healthier immune system. And I want you to, most people don't realize that the immune system is essentially an organ system. It's your bone marrow where the white blood cells are made. It's your liver, which has a lot to do with filtration. And then the white blood cells produce B lymphocytes, and they make your antibodies, and T lymphocytes that directly kill invading organisms. And then they make a lot of other antimicrobial active proteins. There's, we call them cytokines and interleukins, and this is all part of the immune system. So we get it when we say we want to have a healthier heart, because we don't want to die of a heart attack or get heart disease. We get it when we say we want healthier skin. And what's neat about skin is that you can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. And when it looks good and feels good, it's usually healthier skin. And we get that. The immune system, you can't see it. So think of, and it's got to be nourished just like every other organ system. So it's not a surprise that ZipSlim, which helps you get a metabolic reboot to reset other organ systems, nourish, strengthen, and build. It's not a surprise that it's going to help the immune system, just like it helps lots of other organ systems. You can see on this slide here that you can get increased muscle strength, stronger immune system. We already noted more energy, reduced feelings of stress, better sleep, weight loss, reduction in free radicals. So you can see that we already noted there was a stronger immune system because of the key ingredients in ZipSlim are known to help the immune system. Next slide. So what are the key ingredients that help the immune system? Well, essentially, it's every single one of them, okay? So these nourish every organ system and every cell in your body. So Hippocrates said once upon a time, food shall be your medicine. And trust me, what he meant was nutrition or nutritious food shall be your medicine. We've all heard the stories from way, way back in the olden days, sailors on the wooden ships, if they didn't have enough vitamin C, they would get a condition called scurvy. And that's where they get bad blood vessels and bad skin. If they didn't have enough vitamin D, they would get rickets. And that, of course, affects your bones. So we understand conditions when there is a marked deficiency of nutrients. But people don't readily understand when you're marginally low or insufficient or not adequate or optimal, then things don't work well. Your organ systems are not nourished. I want to give you a little example before we get to this. Keep that slide up. So no, you can keep the other slide up, Dale. So think of a horse that's pulling a wagon. And as you load the weight on that wagon, you need a strong, healthy horse to pull it. And in order to get a strong, healthy horse, we sort of know you've got to give it water and you've got to give it nutritious food. And that food has to have vitamins, nutrients, and minerals. And if that horse is not being nourished properly, you will find that it cannot carry heavy loads. You may have to unload the wagon. You may have to disconnect the wagon. You may even have to go get another horse if it hasn't been nourished for a long time. And that's another point I want to make up. I want to emphasize is that different than drugs, which have a very quick, sudden, immediate onset, nutrients take time to have their benefit in your system. Generally, you see benefits build over 30, 60, 90, even up to 180 days. As you take in these nutrients, you will see your systems improve. In this case, we're looking at the immune system. What could be the challenges of the immune system? You can see right there, I want to emphasize it says long-term stress weakens your immune system. Well, so does lack of nourishment. So does lack of good sleep. So does lack of exercise. So in addition to the key ingredients in ZipSlim, which nourish and strengthen the immune system, the reboot rituals many of the reboot rituals are really valuable for your immune system. You know, pausing to give gratitude, taking some deep breaths, getting your daily exercise, getting your water, certainly taking your 2 ZipSlim a day, which gives you the nutrients to build the immune system, getting your sleep, or certainly resting. So the 9 reboot rituals and eating the thin foods, right? So thin, total high intensity nutrition. This is part of the key to not only your successful weight loss, but building your immune system. If you remember back on the original study that showed the benefits of weight loss, you know, they had a moderate exercise and, you know, a modified caloric diet, 1,500 women, 1,800 men, ballpark. And if you make those foods more nutritious, total high intensity nutrition, thin, you're going to get even better results. So now you can see what happens when you have a weaker, not fitter, healthier immune system. Well, you get more colds and flus, digestive disorders, frequent infections. You can feel tired from a weak immune system. You can also get severely sick from infections like influenza virus. We know that that can be deadly and dangerous. Pneumonias are out there. They can be deadly and dangerous. Meningitis, although rare, when it hits, can be deadly and dangerous. Skin cellulitis, methicillin staph infections that are tough to treat with antibiotics. All of those are a result of a weaker immune system. And fortunately, using ZipSlim and the 9 reboot rituals is going to give you a fitter, healthier immune system. Let's see what we've got next. So you can see these are some of the key ingredients. I'm going to mention vitamin C and vitamin D. It's kind of nice that they're at the top for the healthier immune system. I do consider those the 2 strongest. And then below that, we've got the ashwagandha, which is an herb. So it is a plant that has a lot of different nutrients in it. We've got green tea, same story. It's got the catechins, epigallocatechin gallate, EGCG. And so this is a very important one. A lot of the studies on green tea with both weight loss and immune system look at that nutrient found in green tea, EGCG. And then all of those at the bottom are also very valuable because they're very cleansing to your organ systems like liver and kidney and digestive system. They also help balance inflammation. But one that's not on here that we're also going to talk about tonight is magnesium. So these are some of the key ingredients found in ZipSlim that not only give you a metabolic reboot to lose weight, but also build the immune system. By the way, I want to also just mention quickly, you all may be hearing that people that have tremendous difficulty with infections oftentimes are overweight and have a blood sugar problem. So all of that also improves when you're on your ZipSlim program. When you're eating thin, following the rituals, rebooting your metabolism, you begin to lose weight, you get your blood sugar problem under control. That alone builds the immune system. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So ashwagandha starts right up front. You can read it, but it's talking about a clinical trial that shows where it may improve immune health. And I'm not going to get into a lot of the details on the studies, but this one and pretty much all of them show that when people take the substance, in this case ashwagandha, they get improvement in their white blood cell performance. And there's different markers that different studies look at. You've got your B cells. Most of you have heard of your blood counts and your red blood cells, which is your oxygen carrying. And that's when you get too low, you get anemia. And then you got your white blood cells, and that's your main immune system. And the white blood cells kind of hang out in the lymph nodes, but they produce B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. Those are the 2 heavy hitters for the immune system. And this study on ashwagandha showed that it improves performance of various markers. Realize these 2 white blood cells, lymphocytes, they do all kinds of things. They do hundreds of different processes to help you fight off infections. So you will see that if you take a look at the studies. Next slide. Okay, vitamin C. Who doesn't love vitamin C? I do. I put a squeeze of lime or lemon in my ZipSlim pretty much every day, okay? And lime or lemon is a great way to get your vitamin C. We also put a dose in ZipSlim. And so we know, most people know about this one for reducing colds, helping you get over colds. and it helps modulate inflammation. Okay, so you don't go too high on inflammation, which can be a serious problem. And certainly you don't want to be too low on your ability to mount, we call it develop an immune response. So vitamin C is a key player. You can see here it prevents and treats respiratory and systemic infections. Very important. Next slide. Vitamin D. Okay, so as much as I love vitamin C, vitamin D happens to be my all-time favorite. And it's probably because there's a misconception that we get enough vitamin D from the sun. I can tell you that we do not. I have tested thousands, if not tens of thousands of patients over the years, and people do not get enough vitamin D from the sun. Now, this is a mystery, right? Because everyone says you get your vitamin D from the sun. Well, this is antiquated information. Okay, so once upon a time, maybe well over 100 years ago, people spent much more time outdoors, maybe 100 years ago, maybe less than 100 years ago. But there was a time when people spent much more time outdoors. In fact, when you went places, you walked or you were on a horse. Now we're in a car. And unless you have a convertible and you live somewhere where it's sunny all the time, you know, you're not getting enough sun while you're in your car. People worked outside. Nowadays, the ladies or the men that are doing the laundry, you're in the laundry room, right? You're just putting it in the dryer. Many years ago, you were outdoors hanging it up on the clothesline, and then you had to go get it off the clothesline. So that's the misconception about vitamin D. It says we get it from the sun. Genetics do play a role. All this means is that some people need more vitamin D than others, and that is referring to all types of skin color. We know that darker skin folks, Hispanic, African Americans actually need more vitamin D than Caucasians. Okay, so the darker your skin is, it requires more vitamin D to activate production. More sunlight to activate production of vitamin D. There's a little bit in fatty fish, and then in some of the fortified foods that we don't get. There's also some in egg yolks. That's why I'm a big fan of eggs. But you can see the two sides of the immune system down below. That's why I wanted to use this slide. You've got infections, and that's where you want your white blood cells, your bone marrow, your lymph nodes, your B lymphocytes, your T lymphocytes doing their job to fight that germ. It's a good time to mention. I've also found over the years that many people have a misconception that when you get a serious infection and you need an antibiotic or some treatment, if you have a viral infection and you get an antiviral drug, that the drug does all the work. Well, nothing could be farther from the truth. The drug is then assisting your own immune system, which has been fighting from day one to fight off that germ. So the drug is an assistant to your own immune system. I don't think even many doctors get that, because they see people very sick and they just give them the drugs and they get better. But they don't realize that your natural immune system was always in the fight. It just needed help. It needed nutrition. It needed less sugar. It needed exercise. It was always in the fight. Then we've got the other side, which is the autoimmunity or hyperimmunity. This plays a role in, conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis and other skin conditions, colitis, MS. So multiple sclerosis is an autoimmune disorder, which is known to occur more frequently in the northern latitudes where people get less natural vitamin D. This is a scientific fact about multiple sclerosis. Autoimmunity also can relate to hyperinflation, where you get, when people have severe infections, they get what's called a cytokine storm. You may have heard about it in the news, where people are talking about what's really damaging people with a severe infection is the cytokine storm. It means like the immune system just goes crazy. It can't regulate itself. And this can be as dangerous as a weak immune system, but it's all related to an undernourished, undersupported immune system. So this is vitamin D. Next slide. Magnesium. Convincing evidence that magnesium deficiency can contribute to chronic low-grade inflammation, okay? And this slide indicates cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, but the immune system also is weakened by chronic low-grade inflammation. So while we don't automatically think of magnesium being the most valuable player for the immune system, there is studies, plenty of them, that show when we don't have enough magnesium, in many, many ways, it lowers the immune response, produces a low-grade inflammation. Magnesium is also very important for you to manage stress and relax and get your sleep, which is another way the immune system gets weakened. So as with all these nutrients, you know, there are the studies which kind of look, I call them linear studies. So you take the nutrient and you look for a benefit. But all of these nutrients provide benefits in so many different organ systems. For example, magnesium, when you are less stressed, when you sleep better, you have a stronger immune system. And magnesium itself can help the body reduce inflammation. So multiple ways that not only magnesium, but all these nutrients benefit the immune system to make it fitter and healthier. I didn't want to put happier because I'm not sure if the immune system gets happy or not, but I do know that you will be happier with a healthier immune system. Okay, next slide. Green tea. Again, powerful, powerful, powerful. And this is the one where if you look in there, you're going to see the EGCG. And they took it for 3 months, right? So like I said earlier, it's not, hey, I'm going to take green tea today and my immune system is going to be stronger tomorrow. It's just starting. It does take time. And that's why I want you to make sure you use your ZipSlim twice a day to get these key ingredients. But you can see that when they took it daily for 3 months, 32% fewer cases of the common cold or influenza symptoms. And fewer symptom days if they did happen to get these infections. Okay, so that's the other key, right? You get a flu or you get a cold, you have more mild symptoms, your immune system fights it off, and you're back in business. This is very valuable stuff, okay? So this is the rundown of our key nutrients that give you a fitter, healthier immune system. And next slide. I think that's it, right? So that's all 10. Let me just wrap it up again by saying that it's like a symphony, folks. I do want you to understand that it's like a symphony. The horns sound pretty good. The percussions sound pretty good. The strings sound pretty good. But when you put them all together, the parts is the greatest. And you're never going to find a really good study that says, well, what happens if we give somebody vitamin C and vitamin D and some magnesium and some green tea and some ashwagandha? What's that going to do for their immune system? You won't find that study, but you can do that study on your own and you can tell us how it works out. Happy holidays and good luck with a healthier immune system.
Thank you so much, Dr. Drucker. Appreciate your time and love that information. Love that analogy, the orchestra of all these synergistic ingredients working together. And I know everybody on the call tonight and everybody who gets to watch this on a replay in the days and weeks ahead is going to benefit from that. And they get to experience that every day with the wonderful product ZipSlim that we're so happy to share with the world.
Right. And I decided I'm gonna make it's gonna be, you're gonna get a fitter, healthier immune system, and I'm gonna be happier because you're not gonna get sick. Okay. So that's how we're gonna do it, John.
2 ZipSlim a day keeps Dr. Drucker happy all day.
There you go.
We'll tighten that one up. Appreciate it so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you're new to Beyond Slim, this is your first time hearing about us or learning, reconnect with the coach who told you about tonight's webinar. They'd be happy to help you with more. Reach out to us. You can comment here on this Facebook group and we'll be happy to answer any other questions you have. We wish you a happy, healthy holiday season and we will see you soon. Take care.
Take care, everybody.